South Tampa Bay. You're listening to the PewterCast.
Are you not going to show up to halfway through the second quarter?
I was thinking about the fourth quarter maybe this week.
Well,
I'll just play on my phone.
There were some defensive adjustments before then, but it was probably again the worst idea defensive scheme to come out and try to play. We're just going to cover Tyreek Hill one-on-one. We'll just do that. See if that works. No safety help. Either someone's a huge bonehead. It's either Bowles, which I do give him kudos for at least changing it in the second quarter instead of waiting till halftime when we'd been down 34-0.
Right.
Or Winfield, who just wouldn't get over. Refused to get over in time. Just leaving. Somebody was leaving Carlton Davis out to dry because the fastest guy in the league on a deep post route where it's just a straight line speed and then a 9 route with a little get up and go in there, a little out and up 9 route, and no one's there to help him.
Right.
With Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball, it could not have been any dumber of a game plan to start defensively. And then offensively, once again, it was like 1 first down, 3 and out, and then it's like, I guess we should change it. And then we get the kickoff, bring it down the field, and give the ball twice to Fournette inside the 10. Have to kick a field goal.
Please don't get me started on that one tonight.
I could not believe it.
I
could not believe they pulled Rojo to put Fournette down there inside the I could not believe it. And then they gave it to him I'm like, God damn it. Then they threw it to him. And he was already 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And he doesn't make people miss.
Right. Well, yeah, I know. I'm going to say, give the fucking ball to Rojo.
Yeah.
Target Mike Evans. Chris Godwin is your clutch guy. Cameron Braid will do in a pinch. That's the plan. That's what we do. Spread the ball out to everybody else for the other half of the targets out there. But that's who we are as an offense. Why this coach doesn't understand that, I don't know.
I'd like to see him use the middle of the field, too. How many throws were down the sidelines that needed to be absolutely perfect or they would be intercepted or incomplete? I mean, there was no room for error. Just keep using the sidelines. We're going to squeeze it in between the corner and the sideline in about a 1 yard square foot area. So I guess that's 3 square feet. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, with all of that, welcome to the PewterCast, ladies and gentlemen. The PewterCast Live. I'm Brent, and that's Ren over there. The Buccaneers barely lost today, just by a field goal.
Yeah,
27-24, but the game was a lot worse than that. That really belies what this game was.
Yeah. Defense did. I thought the defense played well after they gave up 17 points.
Yeah.
Only give up 10.
Right.
But again, I said it the Rams game, and I said it to you. I think I might have said it to you off air it might have been on air, where whatever they decide to do defensively and offensively, it has this week, especially, it has to work right away.
Yeah.
It has to work. And it didn't. And they found themselves in a 17-0 hole.
Yeah.
With 1 first down.
Yeah.
Because the offensive game plan, whatever they scripted, didn't work. And whatever Todd Bowles did, I don't know if it's Winfield's fault or somebody else's fault, but leaving Tyreek Hill one-on-one with anyone is it's so dumb.
It's dumb.
It's so dumb. They were isolating him on one side of the field, and you were leaving him one-on-one. He could run anywhere on that side of the field, anywhere he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And
he could do backflips into the end zone, Ren. He could do backflips into the end zone. Ren, before you go any further, we got a special caller. I want to go ahead and get him on. They've already called in. This is a guy we haven't heard from in a while.
Okay.
All the way from Germany. Ukulele Pete. Pete, welcome to the show, buddy.
Hello, boys. How are we doing tonight? It is almost 2 a.m. here in Germany. I stayed up for this fucking shit show. It is absolutely disgusting. And you know what's the worst is I'm numb again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Point.
I do.
After last week, man, look, I went on another one of those. I didn't listen to any of the podcasts during this last week because I just can't listen to I can't listen to it anymore.
Sure.
You know, I'm just so fed up with this crap. And the best thing is you see the bandwagon fans on Twitter and everything. Brady, blah, 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 blah. You know what? Ren's been there forever. I've been there since 79. I'm used to it. It sucks. But this was the year it wasn't supposed to suck. And I'm mad at myself for actually believing for a second this team was going to change. Are they going to make the playoffs? Yes. I'm sure one way or another they'll get a wild card spot. But is it worth it to get a wild card spot, get blown out in that first game, and then that's it? I mean, is this what we signed up for? I mean, I would have rather gone non-Brady and built towards something that was going to last. But let's face it, next year the whole team's going to get blown up. We're not going to have money for anything. COVID ruined everything. And once again, Tampa can't have good things. So we're just fucked as Bucs fans, right?
Yeah, Pete. Man, I got to tell you.
Tirade over.
No, look, I have missed the sound of your voice. You stopped calling in probably, I don't know, about 4 games into last season. And I understand why. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying I've just point that out to say how long it's been since we've heard from you. Yeah, look, I'm not nearly as long in the tooth as a Bucs fan as you or Ren are, about half that time, but still long enough that I can relate to every single thing you just said. And no, I get it. I get everything that you're feeling, man. Pete, did you have something for us out there?
You know what? Unfortunately, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't.
That's fine.
Like 2 a.m. in the morning.
My
neighbors will hate me. But
okay. Yeah. Don't do that.
I can promise you this. During this bye week, I will have a song that'll sum up all these feelings we have, but the feelings you had, Brent, at the beginning where you're screaming, which, you know what? Honestly, it felt good. And you know, the only person I miss during all this right now is I miss Derek. I miss what the Bucs at times like this, because, you know, up until that last season, he was always a calming voice. You know, when he went off the air, everyone that listened to him, he was always that calming voice. But these are the kind of losses that you just kind of, I needed that emotion you had at the very beginning of this podcast to give me hope that there are other people out there that feel the same exact way that I do and aren't going to sugarcoat this crap anymore, because I don't care if he's the GOAT. You know, it's not worth it. I mean, really, at this point, bringing all this in just to see it get blown up next year, I don't know. It's just not worth it. I mean, I don't know what we have anymore. Look, it's late. It's 2 a.m. I'm going to bed. Look, I love both you guys. You guys, seriously, even in my worst, I will still download the podcast for you guys. Still get your downloads. I listen to it when I can feel that I can do it. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are everything that encapsulates what being a real Bucs fans are. I mean, from my view, you know what I mean? You two are awesome. I love what you guys do. Go Bucs, and I can promise you next week you'll have a song that encapsulate all of these emotions. All right. So
it's the bye week, Pete. Hey, you have a good night, buddy. Get some good sleep, and don't destroy your neighbors out there. I will talk to you later, Pete. Ukulele Pete, all the way from Germany, told me he had a song. He said, I got a song, but I understand 2 a.m. You don't want to be playing that, waking up your neighbors. So, whoa, before I could even turn all that off, we'll go ahead and do it because you guys heard it. You're on the line with Brent and Ren for the PewterCast Live. Who do we got here tonight? Hello. Yeah, what's up? Who is this?
Yeah. Hi, this is Sunny. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, Sonny, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah. So Yeah, I just saw the match and pretty devastated. I don't know what to say. It felt for a moment we can win it, but I feel, yeah, like you covered, Leonard Fournette, after the second half, basically, when we went to the first and goal, that's the difference actually. That 4 points might have made the difference actually. So,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm having a little trouble hearing you, but hello.
yeah. Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
I hear you. I think you were talking about
Yeah.
how we didn't go for it. We kicked the field goal early in the second half. Is that what you're talking about?
No, yeah. I mean, so once the second half started, we got the ball, and then we went up till first and goal. That Fournette took the ball 2 times in that, and basically lost it.
Yeah.
If Rojo might be there, he might not get the touchdown, but he might get a little bit closer to the to the end zone, and then in the third and goal, Brady might have done something. I feel that. And one more thing, the defense. I don't know what's happening with it. I think they get away. Means they get out of sleep from the second half onwards. I feel they stopped everybody, but in the first half they gave away everything. Yeah, and one more thing I found today when I see the basically Kansas City Chief offense, Tyreek Hill and Mahomes is in such good sync that they were just going out for each other. And I feel Brady and none of the offense is in that kind of thing. That's why these kinds of close games or whatever we call, we are losing it. So that's one more thing I want to see. Means when I saw the Kansas City Chiefs, most of the touchdowns and all the passing yards are with Tyreek Hill only. So I feel they are in such good sync. That's why they are able to win that close game. Because see, Kansas City in this entire season, they won every match closely. Not like they didn't blow up any team, but that's what comes to end. I feel they are not the best team. I feel, but since they have Mahomes and Tyreek, they might make it to the Super Bowl. I feel, but yeah, that's what I feel. And I think the coaching, see, all the team is Chicago game. I don't know. That's an anomaly. And the other 3 losses, I don't know about the Saints, New Orleans Saints, but the LA Rams and today, both I feel is because of coaching or something not able to adjust properly. See, today, LA Rams today lost to San Francisco 49ers. It doesn't have anybody in that team.
Sonny, let me ask you this. You talk about the coaching not being able to adjust. We saw some adjustments today. You've got to give it to them. Maybe just because it was Tony Romo up in the booth telling them to make adjustments and somebody like whistled down and said, hey, Tony said to do this. But were the adjustments what actually worked and brought the Bucs back? Because let's face it, the Bucs went down 17-0 in the first freaking quarter.
Yeah.
You know, that's not okay. And that's not good. And this game was a lot worse than the end score tells us. But so was it that the Chiefs got so far up that they kind of turned into that almost prevent type defense, let the Bucs kind of do some stuff for stringing people along? Or was it that the Buccaneers made some adjustments, the adjustments worked, and they roared back and almost snatched victory from defeat? Which one do you think it was?
But this is, yeah, I understand your point, but this is happening with every match, right?
Mm-hmm.
So means they are not able to escape from the start. Always they are kind of starting from the behind, and Brady and other Evans and Godwin needs to make the perfect match to the offense. That's why if Brady and some of the offense doesn't have a perfect game, then the game is gone. If they kind of have some kind of good game, then it kind of comes close, and then we again lose the match. That's happening with Saints. That's happened with Saints in the first game, I guess. That second game, I don't know. But yeah, Rams is also close, and because Goff was so comfortable in the pocket, I feel that's the difference. But yeah, that's what I just want to say. I'm a Brady fan. But still, I thought he played very well today, but still be on the wrong side.
All right, Sonny.
Yeah,
Well, hey, I'm
I-
gonna let you go, Sonny. We got some other people calling in, and thanks so much for your call. We'll talk to you next week,
your
okay?
podcast, yeah, sure. I like your podcast and
Thank
very
you,
much
Sonny.
listen to you. And yeah,
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sonny. We definitely
Have a nice day.
appreciate that. Thanks so much. Thanks so much.
Appreciate it, Sonny.
We got another caller on the line. You're on the line with Brent and Ren for the PewterCast. Who do we got here tonight?
Hey guys, it's Scott from Miami. How's it going?
What's going on, Scott?
Hey, Scott.
Hey, I called a couple weeks ago after the Packers game.
Yeah,
A little bit different scenario this time, but
a little bit.
you know, so there's a couple things that I saw, and Red actually wanted to ask you about this. You know, Carlton Davis, I've been agreeing with you; he's elite. Do you think they finally found his bugaboo? Is it a speed guy that he just doesn't have the speed to keep up with somebody like Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, no one has the speed to keep up with Tyreek Hill. That's because that's what he does. That's what he does. I mean, Carlton Davis had a terrible game. I would argue that third touchdown was a perfect throw by Mahomes. Right when Carlton turned his head, it just happened to be zipping right over the top of his helmet by only about 2 inches. Patrick Mahomes couldn't even see Tyreek Hill when he threw the ball. Like, Carlton had him completely erased from his vision, and somehow that ball went in there and got that. The first touchdown, like, no one can keep up with Tyreek Hill. That's what I talked about at the beginning of the show. Like, it's either Winfield not doing his job and getting over the top of Tyreek Hill, or it's Bowles again coming out with the not only a bad defensive game plan, but the worst possible defensive game plan for the team that you're playing. If you thought that we're gonna play zone or play, like, we're gonna put Carlton Davis fall around Tyreek Hill and let the chips fall where they may, and play him man on man with no help, then you should be fired. I can't believe that Todd Bowles actually thought that would work. There has to be something else there.
Well, that was my next follow-up. Do you think it was Bowles, or do you think Winfield was just playing out of position? I mean,
that's a question that's going to have to. That's a question that someone's going to ask, either BA tonight or Todd Bowles later on in the week, or BA tomorrow. I mean, that question has to be asked because it's the same thing of playing soft zone against Drew Brees. Like, it was just so stupid. And then the offensive game plan against the Rams, or they play, Tony Romo talked about it. We talked about it for the Rams game. Rams play too deep safeties, can't throw over their heads. And he came on the show and started with it. See how far back these safeties are for the Chiefs? They don't want you to throw over their head. This is what everybody's doing to the Bucs. And they continue to take shots down the field when you don't need to. You're not giving Rojo the ball. You're not using the middle of the field. The only person you throw short to is Gronk. I mean, they're not. It's just not a good game plan, and it hasn't been since the Giants game.
Exactly, and what I don't understand, slipping to the offense, is the times that they were actually moving the ball was the Tom Brady offense, the little dink and dunk over the middle of Gronk. Like, then they get away from it again, and they throw deep balls and getting either intercepted or, I mean, that ball off the guy's head was just ridiculous. But,
well, that was the ball off the guy's head was unlucky. But the one to Scotty Miller, two things.
It was ridiculous, unlucky, but like, yeah.
The one to Scotty Miller was not a pass that Brady should have thrown, because he couldn't see Scotty Miller, and if he's going to throw it, he needs to throw it out of bounds. He threw it short. That is one of those passes where, like, either it's 5 yard out of bounds or Scotty Miller has to make a great catch. Secondly, Scotty Miller has to turn into defender. I don't care what happens there. Scotty Miller needs to absolutely just tackle that guy and take the 15 yards, because it was just right to him. Like, he was getting pressured, so he threw it up. So he threw it up in a place that he thought that only Scotty Miller could get it, but it wasn't. It was about 5 yards short of that, which makes it a bad pass. But Scotty Miller just needs to, like, rip that guy's head off, gouge his eyes, pull his face mask, like, kick him, like, whatever you can do, bite his arm. But he just let him grab it, and it was just, it was back-to-back deep passes. Finally connected one on Godwin. Next play did it again. And it's just like, why? Like, why?
Well, the other drive killer that I thought was just the drive where Rojo breaks off a long run, and we set up the Gronkowski pass. We drive. It was a great pass. He runs it all the way down, and then they bring in Fournette, and that's ridiculous play calls. It's just like it was a drive killer. I mean, we got 3 out of it, but like, how did they? I don't understand what they were doing. Like, they had the momentum, and then they just take out Rojo, put in Fournette, up the middle, nothing, and then that weird second down play. And
right.
What happened? In the beginning of the year, we were money from the red zone, and now we don't look like we have a play. And like, I just, who's making these calls? Is it all Leftwich, or it's maddening. I mean, that was a touchdown that we needed so badly to walk away from with. I mean, just at least you got the 3, but I mean, it's just like both sides of the ball. It just doesn't. The play calling just doesn't add up, and like you get a little bit of momentum, and then you just take it away with some. I don't know if you're getting cute or just getting Fournette the ball again, but it's maddening. I mean,
yeah. The thing is, here's the thing. The thing is you literally have the entire. Okay, maybe not literally. You have nearly the entirety of Bucs fandom. You have most of the media who's all going, "What are you doing?" The coaching staff, they see the exact same thing that we see, but they're not bothered by it. Like, they seem perfectly fine by it, you know? And that's my problem that I have when they do crap like that.
And the game wouldn't have been as close if Kansas City didn't start to implode in the second half with all the penalties.
Right.
I think I saw somebody say Rojo touched the ball 9 times.
9 times for 63 yards, but that was like into the third quarter or something like that. It obviously was a lot more.
They also had that run that was caught back on the alley hold. That was.
Yeah, it was a little ticky tack, but it was a good call.
So yeah, I'm not upset about that. What I'm saying is Rojo had a touchdown on a swing pass and 3 runs over 10 yards, and he touched the ball 10 times because 1 got called back. So that was like, and they continued to put in Fournette. Now, Rojo did miss that block on Honey Badger that made Brady throw the ball quick, the one that got intercepted to Scotty Miller. There was a terrible blitz pickup by Rojo. But, I mean, you just went deep. Why'd you have to, like, it's just like anytime that they're feeling it over there on the Bucs sideline, we're going to throw it deep. What? Ooh, what? We got a first down? Ooh, let's throw it deep. It's a lack of maturity in game calling and lack of maturity in game and clock management. If that's what they're calling, if it's just Brady doing it all, then like I don't know. But the problem with Tom Brady is he will not have that conversation with you. And I don't mean with us, like with the media. Right. Like they'll come out flat out and ask him about it, and he'll start talking about, got to learn in the team and make sure you get your rest and hydrated, and like, he won't answer the question. So I don't know. It just seems like there's no flow. There's no rhythm. Like the things that seem to work, they go away from because of stubbornness, because this is the things that they think should work and aren't working. And it's just so frustrating. It's like same thing. Rojo he only got the ball 5 times last week.
It's not okay.
I know you guys have other people calling in, but I got one more point I'd like to make.
All righty.
And I was trying to say, I was in the chat room, the collab room, and I just why can't they use the middle of the field? I mean,
I don't know.
It was there.
It's always there.
Even Break got it. It's always there. Exactly. I don't understand why they're so averse to doing it. The one drive that they're doing it, they move the ball, and then they just completely get away from it. Just these.
Start throwing the ball.
Yep.
Start throwing it down the sideline again.
Mm-hmm. All right, Scott. Well, thank you so much for your call in, man. All of that stuff we're going to be talking about all week long. We'll talk to you next week. All right, Scott. Go Bucs. Go Bucs. So, guys, phone lines are open if you'd like to call in. 864-729-BUCS. That's 864-729-2811.
Let me put the ticker up.
27. And yeah, do that. You got it. Let's see here. Corey, we got Corey from Nashville would like to join us over here in the stream. Corey, you're up, buddy.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you, bub. Yeah, Corey, you're doing what everybody else wants to be doing right now. What you drinking? What is that?
Something light, man. It's just a little Angry Orchard, I think. Yeah, a little hard cider.
Okay.
Something for the holidays.
There you go.
Let me step outside because I don't want my son to hear me curse.
I understand that.
Okay, so, man, I get to watching this game, and Ren, you hit on it earlier. Both of you guys did earlier when you started the show. Why in the hell are we always making adjustments after the fucking fire? Like, oh, we're going swimming. Let's just go hop in our regular clothes. Oh, wait, we're going swimming. We need trunks after we hop in the pool with the regular clothes. Like,
and our phone.
I and our phone and everything. I don't understand those. And you see Tyreek Hill when we made a simple adjustments on maybe putting somebody over the top.
Yeah.
He had maybe 3 or 4 more catches for the game, which was a regular Tyreek Hill game. 200 and something yards in the first quarter. Are you like? I've been saying that. I've been saying, why are we the team that teams can do whatever they want? I don't even know if y'all looked at the box score of the Rams game, but you know the Rams play us last week. Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp do everything they do to everybody if you don't scheme for them. They played the Niners today. Yeah, I got Cooper Kupp on my fantasy team. I'm pissed because I was playing for a first round bye. Sorry, I'm a side. That was a sidebar.
Fine.
That was a sidebar. But
it's okay. Congratulations.
I know I have a pretty good team. Whatever a team wants to do against us, they get to do it.
Yeah.
And I try to find a silver.
Why does everyone else's game plan works and we're the ones on offense and defense always have to
dude? Yeah. They make it so difficult to get the ball to Mike Evans. The whole Leonard Fournette thing, I don't
get it.
I listen, and y'all were talking about it earlier. That drive to come out the hat, or it might have been right after our first drive when Rojo breaks that run, and then we go straight to Leonard Fournette.
Yeah,
I was like,
and then give him the ball up the middle because he's gained a total of 11 yards up the middle this year.
And then they throw the ball to him.
Yeah, 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
So my biggest takeaways from the game, and like I said, maybe we really needed this bye. Playing 12 games before a bye week is tough for any NFL team. So we really needed that bye. And I think making better preparation will actually go a long way with us. And what really encouraged me, let me dug out the positives. I was encouraged by said adjustments, even though I could have drew up a game plan for Kansas City. I'm playing too high against Kansas City all game. I'm probably going to play cover 2 and make them run the ball. I'm not going to sit there and single high and let Pat. But anyway, so the adjustments that they made, I look at that as a positive. And the front four, I was very encouraged by the front four's pressure today.
They had great pressure tonight.
So much so they caused a red zone turnover, which Kansas City hasn't had in 17 games. So that's a season in a game. They haven't had a red zone turnover. They forced a lot of the defense gave us an opportunity, especially early in this game. Their score was 3. Kansas City had the ball 3 times and they only had 3 points. And we go down there and give them nothing. We gave the defense no help today. And I'm like, we were down 17-0, but I feel like the momentum could have been a little different if it had at least been 17-3, you know. And then we going into it's just I was very encouraged by our front four today. And then I started to dial it back a little bit. And I stated, you know what, man? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I know everybody loves Kansas City. They are the 3-point shooting team in the NFL. I get it, but I don't think they're that great, quite frankly.
They're beatable.
They should have lost both games to Oakland or Las Vegas, and Las Vegas let the Falcons with no Julio put 40 points on them. Let that sink in, and they only scored 6 against that defense that let Taysom Hill do what he did against them. And they should have lost to the Chargers. If the Chargers weren't the Bucs of the West or are the Bucs the Chargers of the East, whatever one you want to say, the coaches seem like they coach against them sometimes. It's the weirdest. I don't know if y'all ever keep up with Chargers football. That's the weirdest epidemic in Chargers in the NFL is their coaching. The Chiefs could easily have. So I think that's the team where we are. We are that middle pet. We're not the top tier teams like the Saints. Really, the Saints. You got to throw Pittsburgh in there because they're undefeated. but I think we're right there in the middle. I was very encouraged by our front four pressure today, and I think that's going to help us with this bye week coming right here. I think we win out, go 11-5. I really do. I think we're going to win out, go 11-5, and look, guys, all you have to do is be playing your best football headed into the postseason, and that's where I am right now. And I think that front four.
Corey, I want to dive down on what you just said there,
right?
Because that's the issue to me, right? Look, let's face it. The next 4 games are against bad teams.
Yeah, you're right.
We're against bad teams in the NFL. We play Atlanta twice. We might sweep them. We might split. We're going to win at least one of those. Think we'll win Vikings. Damn sure we're going to win the Lions, who just fired their coach, and they're just a bad team anyway. So worst case, we're going 10-6. Best case, we're going 11-5. That's not a failure of a season. No. That's an okay season. But the problem that I have with that
11-5 will be tied for the franchise best, I believe.
We went 12-4 our Super Bowl.
Oh, did we?
Yeah. Sorry. But regardless of that, the problem I have is, as Ren pointed out, we've only beat good teams twice this year.
Yeah.
And the rest of it has come off of bad teams. And look, when you get to the playoffs, you're pretty much not playing bad teams. And damn it, if we go to the playoffs and we're out in the first round this year,
I'm pissed.
I'm not satisfied going to the playoffs. I want to go deep in the playoffs.
The first caller made a perfect point, man. He said because we're first of all, we're cash strapped. We kind of mortgaged our future off these next 2 years with Tom Brady because our QB was 26 and we kind of just we let that go. So okay, that's fine.
Wait a minute, Corey. I got to push back on that, brother. I got to push back because if we had kept Jameis, you're talking about 35 million a year. Tom Brady's 25. What do you mean that because of the quarterback we're cash strapped? I don't understand.
For 2 years, let me not say cash strapped. We are roster strapped. Like in 2 years, we have to find another quarterback. If we pay Jameis, we have him for at least another 4. And then we kind of work out a deal to maybe restructure, whatever the case may be. But I don't want to talk. Because people are going to get the call confused when we talk about Jameis.
Right? Yeah. No, I'm not trying to do that. I just want to push back on we're cash strapped because of the quarterback.
Everyone's going to be cash strapped next year, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody is. Like New Orleans is going to have to go and sign high school players. Like Drew Brees' contract is going to screw them over finally so bad. Like
even if he retires. I think he's
they owe him money. He's got guaranteed money for the next 3 or 4 years.
Does he really?
That's
a terrible contract.
They kept putting it off to win now. Yeah. Like they were trying to win 3-4 Super Bowls and then figure something out later. And just
I'm gonna let my last point. I'm gonna let you guys go because I know your phone lines are booming. And I'm just reiterating what I said earlier. And I know we play against bad teams, but more than likely, if we stay where we are, which I think we are around that 6th spot. Yeah, because I don't see anybody leapfrogging us from that 6th spot, maybe even a 5. I really want to stay where we are and match up against that team from the NFC East, and then we get to the divisional round. Washington kind of scares me because they're built to beat us, but I was very encouraged with Ali Marpet back. Like it's amazing how much better he makes our offensive line. Like it's Chris Jones is a stud. Chris Jones is a stud, and you didn't hear his name today. Not much at all. Tom Brady. Happy feet sometime when he threw that pick to Scott. Oh my God. But anyway, y'all have a good night. I'm just saying we play our best football after this bye week. Let's go in. The NFL is hard to win. Look at look at the Rams, man. They just lost to the Niners with 11 people on COVID on reserve. So if we could just win these 4 games, because it's any given Sunday, especially with 2 of those games being division games, we get some momentum going into the playoffs at 11-5. I think we figure something out today with our front 4. I really do.
I do too, and I thought that the offensive cohesiveness
looked better in the second half.
For sure.
Better.
For
sure. All right,
guys.
Hey, I love you all for letting us vent, and I'm going to keep watching the show. Talk to you all
right. Thanks, Corey. We'll talk to you next week, buddy. We'll talk to you next week. We got a phone call. Before I pull you up, caller, I just want to address something over in the chat room. Hey, guys, listen, we have a rule here. All fans are welcome. You can come in here. You don't have to be a Bucs fan. This is a Bucs-centric show. You don't have to be a Bucs fan to come in here. Our only rule is don't be an asshole. All right. And you be an asshole. That's how you get yourself blocked. Or I think they can put you in timeout now for a few minutes. So
are we looking at Low Lip McGee?
Yeah, Low Lip McGee. So look, dude, here's the deal. You come in here, you want to talk a bunch of trash. Look, that's fine. Contribute to the conversation. That's all I'm going to say.
Don't come in here and just rub salt in the wound because, that's team's 8-1.
That's not what we're doing. So that's the kind of stuff that gets you put in timeouts. And if I have to do that more than once, then you're going to get blocked out of the room. And it's not that we're trying to squash other people having conversation. Just contribute to the conversation. Don't come in here pounding your chest and all that kind of stuff. That's not what this is for. With all that said, we do have a phone caller on the line. Thank you for holding with us. You are on the line with Brent and Ren. Who do we have here?
Hi, it's me, Keon.
Keon, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man.
I'm scared.
About what?
Because I'm scared because
is
the
it
thing
COVID?
is, we lost this game by 4 points. And what scares me is I look at our coaching staff and I'm not sure if they're going to learn the correct lessons
I agree.
from this game.
I agree.
See,
say it, Keon.
I do think that there's a lot that is here. I look at this game and it's frustrating. I'm not numb or anything like that. I'm really turned up because it's like we have all the pieces. They're just in the wrong place. I'm not sure if the game has passed Bruce Arians by. I'm not certain of that, but the staff has been very slow to react to what's going on the field.
Yeah.
And I recite, hey, Tyreek Hill blew up Carlton Davis III, not once, not twice, but 3 times. 3 times. That's not just, oh, Carlton Davis is bad and that's it. We put him in a bad position, a job that he cannot do alone.
No one can.
We saw it happen 3 times. It's one thing if it happens once and then we make the adjustment and then we catch that. We did not decide to do that. Then we went into the Brady offense, attacking the middle of the field, which we should be doing. I saw us running the ball and having Rojo. And I'm like, yes, we're on the right track. But then, wrong pass. And yet we still only lost by 4 points. This was a very winnable game. I think that the
Keon, let me ask you this because I want to go back because this is the burning question I have that has not been answered for me yet.
Where's that mysterious 4th point?
No, yeah. First of all, for the record, we only lost by 3, not 4. But the other thing is, did we come roaring back because of the team started playing well and the coaches made the right adjustments and we did the right things to come in and put points back up on the board? Or is it that the Chiefs just took the foot off the gas and kind of, went into that prevent thing? And I don't know. That's not what I was looking for when I was watching this game. And it's just a few minutes old at this point. So I don't know, but that's the thing that I'm curious about, because if we came roaring back because the coaches learned some lessons and made some adjustments, I'm much more encouraged by that. And I think that matters versus, the Chiefs just sort of took their foot off the gas a little bit. And they kept us in front of them the whole time is pretty much what it was. And,
actually, no, I think it is that when I saw us go up to 17 points, they were looking at each other, and Mahomes was flustered by the pass rush. We were in what could have won us this game, but we just did not maintain it. That was the problem. They were on the ropes. They're not that good. These guys are not unbeatable. And yet, the coaching staff sees and smells blood, and then they start doing a bunch of wonky things like the Leonard Fournette stuff. That is unforgivable. And that's what I want the coaching staff to go back and take a look at themselves. This is not the players not being good enough. We are good enough. It's about being disciplined. The problem with this team is that we are not, and the coaching staff is not disciplined enough to allow Tom Brady to work what he's best in. We don't stay in the run. We stop. We run. We go away from what works. It's not. Nothing is working, and then these guys are like, "Oh, we beat them badly," and well, we don't need to do it. Those guys did not just stay back. They were coming after us still, but we changed it up and it started working. The coaching staff doesn't understand what is working. And that's what's so frustrating. That's why I'm scared. We might beat these teams and look okay, but we're not going to know why. That's what I've been seeing.
And look, and here's the thing. I want to add on to that, Keon, and then I'm going to let you go because we got some other people lining up to get in here. But I hear everything you're saying, and honestly, I agree with you. Is what is going on with this coaching staff? Because a lot of people are calling for BA to be fired. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, fire Byron Leftwich." Oh, fire. I'm saying fire Keith Armstrong, and I think that one should stick. But look, this team's going to win 10 and 6.
Actually had their best game.
No, are you kidding me? You think so?
Yeah.
Wait, okay, that might be the best of a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be the best turd of a whole bowl full is probably what that is.
Well, what was so turdy about it tonight?
We'll talk about that in just a moment. Let me finish my first thought here.
Sure.
But Keon, I mean, my point is, BA is not getting fired. You don't get fired after going 11-5 or 10-6, especially coming off of 7-9, 5-11, a whole bunch of years in a row. So Bucs fans, get that out of your head. BA is not getting fired. If BA is leaving, it's because he's retiring. That's it. That's the only way BA is getting out of here in this next season, right? But I'm with you. If this coaching staff hasn't learned the lessons that they have from these losses moving into the playoffs, again, I say, I said this on our midweek show this past week where we talked about, Ren, what was that? We talked about, are the Bucs trending down? I said, I'm not worried about the win-loss record over the next bunch of weeks. That's going to sort itself out. I'm not worried about making the playoffs. That's going to sort itself out. I am at this point right now worried about how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to perform in the playoffs. And if they can't learn from the mistakes they're making now, when we get to the playoffs, when it actually really matters for the first time in 13 years, the Buccaneers aren't going to do bupkis. They're not going to do anything going into that. So I'm with you, Keon. I feel you're saying you're scared about the coaching because I get it. Keon, I'm going to let you go for today. You got anything else real quick?
No, all I have to say is that go Bucs.
Yeah, go Bucs. Go bye week. Go bye week.
I'm ready for a bye week. You ready for a bye week?
I am ready for a bye week. Well, here's the only thing I don't like about a bye week is you and I have been doing this long enough, friend. This is what we know. Going into a bye week off a loss like this leaves that taste in your mouth for that much longer. Yeah. Because the only thing that fixes us is getting to the next game and getting a win, right? Yeah. And when you talk about
we got 2 weeks of an antiquated offense that doesn't use motion.
We got 2 weeks of talking about the same thing. Yeah. That's what it is. And it's not just us. I sent out a tweet. I was like, dear all rookie Buccaneers podcasters, all 432 of you, the next 2 weeks are going to suck. Because, and some people ask me that. It's just as content creators, we go about the newest stuff that's happening. And this is what we got to talk about now for the next 2 weeks. That's all I mean by that. And yeah, so we'll do our part, Ren, to try to come up with something a little different. But yeah, it's going to be tough. You asked me about special teams.
Yeah, you said you thought that it was turd worthy.
Yeah. All right, listen. Aside from the Ryan Smith play, then I can't believe I'm saying his name, where he absolutely cleaned the clock of whoever their guy was.
Sure.
Right. That is the first time that I have seen what were the words Keith Armstrong used? Aggressive.
Oh, I don't know.
Fast, whatever he used. That's the first time I've seen that in a long time.
Yeah, he was using antonyms.
Oh my God. But then the very next one, Ryan Smith completely overshoots. Same guy completely overshoots his guy, and the guy turns around and returns it for 15, 16 yards. Coming back.
No, he didn't.
I'm pretty sure he did.
No, because
pretty sure he swirled around and came back.
Oh, it bounced and he caught it and he ran to the far side of the field and picked up 5 yards.
Okay. Well, whatever. I don't know. The punts didn't seem to go very far at all.
What? He boomed his kicks.
He boomed his kicks.
Yeah, it was one of his best punting games of the year.
Really?
It was, and nothing was blocked.
Maybe
I understand.
I'll give you that. Maybe I was just soured by the rest of the game.
yeah.
But it just didn't. I was like, no,
I mean, the reason for not making any splash plays on the special teams and saying it was your best game, that's an awfully low bar. Like, I'm not going to sit here and sort of die on the hill of the Buccaneers special team squad, but I thought Pinion had his best game punting for a while. Obviously, kicked them all in the end zone, no big deal there, and like nothing got blocked on field goals or extra points. So that's also a win, unfortunately.
Can we then talk about Devin White and his inability to tackle in this game?
Sure.
Yeah,
or
let's
the
talk about that
defense
after.
to be able to stay on side.
Right. Let's talk about that after this caller, unless the caller brings it up. You're on the line with Brenton Wren for the PewterCast Live. Who do we got here tonight?
This is Rob G. I would just want to add with everything that I've been hearing from the callers and things of that nature. I just wanted to say that with the blueprint to beating the Chiefs, I mean, the Raiders pretty much the only team that I've seen this season that has really shown the blueprint to beating the Chiefs. And the opportunity was there, I believe, inside this game as far as our ability to run the ball. I mean, Rojo had some pretty good stats as far as his ability to run the ball against this team, but it just seems like we wasn't committed to being physical and just taking out shots whenever the opportunity presented itself. But as far as being physical with the team, because Raiders was super physical both times that they played. And that's just an opportunity that I feel that we could have just capitalized on because we have the backs to do so.
Yeah, I'm with you. I told Brent, again, I don't remember if it was off air or on air, the Chiefs are going to move them down the field. We got to hold them to field goals. And I thought they did that pretty well for the first half, given as bad as the stats were. Like Patrick Mahomes threw 360 yards and Tyreek Hill had 200 yards in the first half, and they only scored 20 points. I mean, that's not bad, I guess. But I told Brent, I'm like, I don't care if the run works or not. It's like you're gonna have to run the ball 2 out of every 3 downs. If you get a first down, you need to run the ball 2 of the 3 because you just have to keep them off the field. And then, Romo pointed out, and at the beginning of the game, it's like they're daring you to run it, and they won't do it. They won't commit. They will not do a run-heavy game. I don't know why. This was the game to do it. Rojo had the stats to do it. Like, every time, I understand how disappointing he'd been, the first year and even the second year. And even this year was, some of the fumbles and the missed blitz pickups and the dropping the pass. The pass tonight wasn't his fault. Thank God he didn't get intercepted. It was a terrible pass by Brady. But then don't put him in that position, Like they went empty enough tonight that if they wanted to go empty every time they wanted to throw the ball, that was fine. Like if they didn't want to keep Rojo in there to block, to pick up the blitz, they have ways to get around that. They could have gone heavy with Haig as an extra tight end, or Brait was getting open. I mean, this was the game to control the clock. Now, it might have got away from them early because they were down 17-0 before the end of the first quarter, but they crawled back in it, and they just didn't seem to. It's like they're adverse. I don't get it. Like I can't put my finger on it. That it feels like you get one good play, so they go deep, and then they miss it, and then so now they got to kind of scrap and claw and fight for the next first down. It's like, oh, we got a first down. We got 3 downs to make it. Let's go deep again, and they miss it. Then you got to scrap and claw, and it's just like it's so frustrating. They continue to pound the rock as long as you have to throw the rock 50 yards in the air. They'll pound it that way. But, when the Chiefs defense isn't a top 10 defense. I don't even know if it's a top 15 defense. It's definitely not a top 10, 15 and against the run. So they just, all those things that you hear, like put your players in the best position. Like the Raiders come in and throw all these short passes. That's what the Chargers did. That's what the Saints did, because that's the best way to attack our defense. But we don't do that. It's like we're going to do what we're going to do. We're going to make them adjust. Well, what we do isn't working because it's, first off, the low percentage throw. And besides tonight, hopefully Brady got out of it, but they were in a huge slump. But then you see that pass on 4th and 3, and he puts it into Evans for a touchdown. And you're like how many quarterbacks would even like have the balls to throw that? I mean, that was the game right there. It was. That was the game, and it was like 5 minutes left in the third. It was like this is we don't make this like it, the way the defense isn't. And this is before the defense is sort of like, stood up to him. But yeah, I'm like. I don't know. It's like hashtag free Rojo. And Brent, you know what we can do during the bye week?
What's that?
We can organize a bunch of people to go to Leonard Fournette's house, and when he answers the door, he just cough on his face. He's like a line of people, and eventually he'll catch COVID. Because that's the only way Rojo's gotten the balls.
And then when the cops come for assault, we all scatter.
Is that assault?
Sure, yeah, that's assault. That's actually called assault.
Coughing on someone?
Yes. And
is
people
it
are
just
going
because
to
of
court
COVID?
over it. No, well, I don't know if it's just because, but people are going to court and getting charged for it. Yeah. It's called
Can you
assault.
hit him with a water balloon full of your saliva in the face?
They'd have to prove that it was your saliva. And
that's true.
Yeah. But if you can get that much saliva to fill up a water balloon.
Well, I mean, it's we'd have to work out the math about the dilution, units per cubic volume. I don't know.
And then get it in a pressure filled situation to actually expand the balloon. Yeah, this is physics.
And then find
right
out
here
where
on
Leonard,
the PewterCast, folks.
Then find out where Leonard Fournette lives, and get him to answer the door like 30 times in a row.
Right. Actually, I think I know where his house is. Go ahead, Rob G.
Sorry. Hey, Rob. How are you?
Yeah, and I just want to add one thing, because all those are the games that I know of. If I'm not mistaken, every game that Rojo has had solid carries, like a solid amount of carries, and had those 100-yard games. I don't think that we lost those games.
We lost the Chicago game.
I don't.
Just one.
I mean, that was Chicago,
and it was barely. It was an anomaly.
Frustrating game for me.
We played Chicago 100 times. We win 104 of them. Like, I have no idea how we lost that game.
Yeah, I have no idea as well.
Yeah. All right, Rob G.
I just wanted to comment on that, but thank you.
All right, Rob. Thanks so much, man. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you next week, all right? Or in 2 weeks after the bye. All right, Rob G.
I'm with you, man. Like, this was the game to run the rock, man. This was it. This was the game for Rojo. How do you stop Pat Mahomes? Put him on the bench.
Yeah. Against a team that has a bad run defense.
Yeah, no, we're not going to do that.
No.
Nah.
Well, but Ren, it's because we got down 17-0 and we have to abandon the run when you're that far down.
Okay.
That's what it was. That's what it was. Can I tell you a little something that I've always wondered in my head, and this one really brings it up. Our last caller, he identified himself as Rob G.
Mm-hmm.
In my head, I'm immediately going, is this Rob Gronkowski with a voice modulator? And then I've started I've often wondered, I wonder how often a player calls in with a voice modulator or trying to disguise their voice, and how cool would that be? Call into the show and actually speak your mind.
We are very different. We are very different people.
It's the private inner workings of Brent Allen's mind. Ren, we've got somebody who wants to join us. Good friend of the show. He's been on the last bunch of weeks. Bucs Squad, what's doing, buddy?
I'll take care of that. Sorry.
Oh man, I feel terrible. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you, man. Sorry, I was fixing a border mess up. Yeah, I feel terrible. I feel sick. I was angry. Brent was snarky on me in messaging, so I cursed at him. I mean, I was not a happy camper. I quit talking to the people in the Collide app halfway through the second quarter. I looked at it, but I didn't say a word for the whole rest. Even Cheryl has learned, just don't talk to me when the game's on. She doesn't even know who's winning. She doesn't know if it's over or not. She has no idea. She has no idea. She had to sit across from me while we're eating dinner in the middle of the Saints game. She just put her head down and read a magazine while I just huffed and puffed and shook my head and snorted. Yeah, man. It was oh. Yeah, I feel terrible too.
Yeah, it's weird because I honestly felt okay, we are playing against the best team in the National Football League, right?
Sure.
So you got to take that into consideration. You're not going to go out there and just start spanking the cheeks. But my whole issue was I felt like Tyreek Hill kind of just punked him.
Buck Squad. Hey, do me a favor. Can you turn down the TV in the background? Because that's coming over. Yeah, that's coming over, and I can't hear what you're saying with that. Go ahead. Try that again.
Gotcha. My fault. Yeah, I was going to say, man, it feels like Tyreek Hill, there was zero matchups for him. Like, it didn't seem like I don't know if you guys saw it. Obviously, I have the all 22. Did we try to double Tyreek at all? Did you guys see that, or did we just kind of just man up with Carlton Davis? Because that was
one-on-one. They left Carlton out there by himself against Tyreek Hill all night long.
No, they didn't. No.
I hope not.
It was not all night long. But as soon as he quit going for 30-yard touchdowns, that was why. I mean, they came out after Hill's second touchdown in three deep safeties. That's what they came out in. And then, they were rolling coverages to his side, especially if him and Kelsey were lining up on the same side. They kept rolling coverages over there. And that's when you saw him throw to like Reynolds and throw to the tight end that's not named Kelsey. So that was the way to go at the beginning, obviously, because it worked. I mean, if it didn't work, what are you going to do? But yeah, it was just such a bad game plan coming out the gate. And again, I can't really blame all of it on Todd Bowles right now, because I don't know if it was him or Winfield just like didn't realize how fast Hill was and just wasn't getting over there in time, or I don't know. But I can't sit here and think that Todd Bowles would leave Davis one-on-one without stressing to Winfield enough about how he had to get over there. So then it goes back to me being Todd Bowles, and then you start looking at like the Giants game and the Saints game and the Rams game about how all these teams came out and whatever they worked on in practice that week, the way to beat the defense worked for usually the whole entire first half. So like, I don't have a lot of like, I think Todd Bowles can coach. Like I think, I understand he knows way more about football than I ever will, but it's like you and me, Buck Squad. Okay. There's two events. One is to push a 250-pound sled 5 yards, and the other one is to climb a rope wall 8 feet high. And the person in charge of us puts you on the rope wall, and puts me on the sled. I'm 180 pounds, like soaking wet. I'm 6'1".
Right.
It's like sure, I'll get the sled there, but we're not gonna win. And yeah, you'll get over the wall eventually, but like we're not gonna win. And everybody can see it.
That's crazy. It seems like it's so many smart people in our locker room that, including Tom Brady, that'll just be like, okay, let's figure this out. And it seems like we'll have spurts, like we'll hit Mike Evans, we'll hit Gronk down the seam. Why are we like, it seems like we completely go away from those things. You know what I mean?
The middle of the field, I don't know. The middle of the field has kryptonite in it. I don't know. Maybe that's where like BA got cancer twice, was in the middle of the field, so he avoids it. Like, I do not know. I don't know. We've been screaming about Rojo for weeks now. Like, give the guy the ball.
How many carries did he have? I'm curious.
He had 9 touches. So he only had 1 pass catch, so he had 8 runs. 8.
I give up.
8. And 3 of them went for over 10 yards. And he got the ball grand total of another 5 times. He averaged like 11 yards a carry.
This is shocking. All right, man. I just wanted to get that out. We got to start feeding Rojo more. I agree. That's ridiculous. I don't understand that. I have no idea what's going on with that.
Yeah. But, all right, Buck Squad, you got anything else for us for tonight, man?
7-5, man. I'll see you guys next time.
There you go. There you go.
It's better than 5 and 7.
Right. I need that one more win, Ren. I know we're gonna get it. I know we're gonna get it soon. I need that one more win. I need to. Get us on the other side of that 500.
3. I need 3. I'll take 4.
Fair enough. I get that.
I need three. I need three.
I get.
I need three, and I won't even mad if we miss the playoffs. Unless the loss is to the Lions. Then I might.
Well, it'll be the how.
Then I'm gonna go find BA's house and start coughing on him.
Don't do that. He's in the what you call it? He's in the high risk category, right?
He's in the old people category.
Hey, let's go back and talk about Devin White for a minute.
Sure.
What about him?
I thought he had. You said about all his missed tackles. I only really saw one.
Really?
And I thought he's played discipline, maybe two, but I thought he played. Yeah, he didn't have a great tackling game. Now that I think about it,
no, he got drug across the field. At least 3 or 4 times. Like he would get a hold of the guy. He was holding on to him, but then the other guy like just kept running, and like wouldn't come down. And then there are other times he just blew past his guy. Like it was like eesh.
I didn't think it was that bad. I thought he played some of his most disciplined assignment football the past 2 games, to be honest.
Okay.
For the things that I freak out about, which obviously is coverage. If you've listened to any show this year, I've talked about Devin White and coverage, and I thought that he wasn't exposed really in either of those 2 games. Now, to be fair, the Chiefs really didn't go after him this game at all. And look, lo and behold, Sean Murphy-Bunting's playing well again as an outside cornerback.
There you go.
And Dean's out.
Well, what's his face said that he was coming out of his lull. Bull said he was coming out of his lull. Stop thinking about it so much.
Yeah,
maybe. He even got an interception until it wasn't an interception.
Oh, Murphy-Bunting? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a crappy call. I thought JPP was going for his arm to stop his arm on a forward motion and then hit like his bicep and then slid down into his helmet.
Right.
But, I thought we got a lot of crappy calls go our way this game too, so can't get too mad about it. Yeah, I didn't think his tackling was too bad. Right. I mean, it didn't stick out. Like tackling as a whole didn't stick out too badly for me. Like there was a play where they had Le'Veon Bell stop for like 3 yards. I think Will Golston, who was running way out there on the flat, missed him, ended up getting like 7 yards, and it was like 2nd and 3, but then there was a holding penalty. So it was like, okay, you kind of forgive it. But not like that Rams game where the guy would catch the ball and there's 2 guys there and he'd get like an extra 4 yards.
Right.
Where it turned 2nd and 7 into 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 3. And they just continually did that like all night long, all those hidden yardage. So yeah, I didn't really have an issue the way the defense was playing because, they get down there and we stop them on a short field, right? And they kick a field goal.
Right.
Then I think we stopped them all together. Then I think they had a punt. And then I think they scored. And then they scored. And then they scored. But I'm saying is if it wasn't for the dumb idea of leaving Carlton Davis all by himself on an island twice, and because they scored from like 30 yards out. One was from 75? It was like right after we scored. And they got, and it was one play, 75 yards, touchdown. And it was just like, oh God. So as far as like these long sustained drives or the Chiefs just kind of chunking the ball down the field, I thought we did okay. I thought we did about as well as could be expected, to be honest.
Yeah, and again, as well as what we had actually expected. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so, except they just kept hitting the big play over the top with Hill.
Let me ask you this, because I want you to actually respond to this. You have been pounding the drum lately for Carlton Davis.
Yeah.
So much so you put Carlton Davis into the Pro Bowl. You said he was one of the top guys to put into the Pro Bowl.
I voted for him today until they made me have to log in. They're like, here, vote for the Pro Bowl here, like on the Buccaneers website. Well, I did it, and I voted for everybody. And then they're like, submit form, dupe. And it goes, go to NFL.com and log in. It's like, why didn't you have me do that at the beginning? Like,
I want you to respond to this. I want you to respond to this guy in the chat room. Truly Goated 3 says, man, Carlton sucks. 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Well, I talked about it. I talked about it, and again, I think the third touchdown was just an incredible throw. Bad luck. He was turning his head right when it was going over the top of his head. I thought it was great coverage. It was just one of those things where can't stop that. And the other two, one was basically a 9 route with a little out and up. Okay, like we used to call Alabama in Little League, down out down. But basically it's a 9 route. So you have the fastest guy in the league. You're trying to hold. And he's going to do a double move on you, and you don't. And the whole side of he's up there on the whole side of the field because the safety's not coming over to help. Like that's like no one can stop him. And this other one was he started in the slot on the other side of the field and basically ran a 9 route at a 45-degree angle, like with no one else covering him. Like he's starting forward at you, you're at a standstill, and at one point you're going to have to completely change your direction by 180 degrees and get into a foot race with this guy. It can't be done. Stupid scheme. More than stupid. Just so dumb. Just super retarded. Brent, if we were going to have a pizza eating contest, who do you think should go for our team? Me or you?
The knowledgeable fan would say me.
Yeah, right. But guess what Todd Bowles did? He picked me.
Yeah.
We lost, by the way.
Just out of curiosity. You and I have never had this question before.
Sure.
In one sitting, how many slices of pizza do you eat?
Now? Like 2.
Not how many could you eat? How many, like, would it be 2, like 2 and you're done, you're tapping out?
Yeah, I don't care about that anymore. Now, back in college, where we used to go to the all-you-can-eat Pizza Hut buffet and make a big pile of the crust in the middle of the table as a competition.
See, I don't think you don't eat the crust. I don't think it counts.
No, I do now, but back then, when it was like how many like that was just kind of like the house rules. It's like how many pieces can you eat? Because we all paid it was like $6.99, so we paid $7. Right. And they just kept putting pizzas out on the buffet, and we just kept throwing the pieces of crust in the middle. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I've never been a huge pizza eater. Yeah, like usually like 4, 5 if I pushed it. But at the Pizza Hut buffet, the slices are not they're tiny. They're like 3 bites. So with that, we were putting away 2-3 pies a piece.
Yeah, see, that's what I wanted to hear from you. I wanted to get to the. You could pack some. Your skinny little ass over there. You could pack some away.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Well, I'm just not nearly as active I used to be, and I don't eat as much as I used to. So my stomach shrinks.
I'm the same way. I don't eat as much as I used to. Anyway.
Sure.
Different things. Let's get back to the Buccaneers.
Sure.
All right, one more topic I want to cover for tonight, and then we'll get out of here before we drop skulls and swords. Hint, people in the chat room start dropping those over there. Offensive line play.
Yeah.
Ali Marpet returns. Donovan Smith has a bad ankle. We have at least 2 holding penalties on Ali Marpet. One of them, honestly, because it looked like he was taking his guy and Donovan's guy.
Shocker.
Right. But Brady seemed to be getting a lot of pressures tonight. He seemed to have somebody in his face almost all night. Am I reading that wrong? I don't know that this was our best offensive line game.
I think it went through stints. I think it was again like the Rams game where sometimes he had pressure, which caused him to release the ball early. But I also think that most of the time that he had enough clean pockets to win the game. Like the pressure wasn't the reason we lost the game. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't so many pressures that if he kept dumping the ball off or throwing the ball away, we couldn't move the ball. So I thought it did pretty well.
All right. I again, my feeling on the matter usually was that it just didn't. Brady didn't seem to have the time to. That's not even the case. Brady just seemed to be under duress a lot. Let's put it that way.
Sure.
And I'll be interested to see when the stat crunchers come out because I'm not going to do that.
It showed it during the game right after he got sacked for his 1 sack. Yeah. And it was like I think it was something like 15 hurries, but only like 7 hits or something. And that's nothing really. I mean, It matters how many times he threw the ball. If he only threw it 6 times and 7 hits is a lot.
Right. Well, what was it? I think Trevor Sickham, our old friend, tweeted something out like Mike Evans has 9 touchdowns in the last like however many games, like last 4 games or something like that. And Mark Cook was like, somebody tell Tom Brady that. And I was like, yeah, but too bad Mike Evans has only been targeted 12 times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And Mark came back and went, no, he only got targeted 9. Still got 11.
8. 8 times 9 touchdowns.
Hey, here's an interesting thing. Speaking of Trevor, he tweets this out. The Buccaneers have been outscored in the first quarter 52-7.
Yeah.
This season.
No, that's not true.
That's what Trevor tweets out. And Trevor
absolutely
tweets out
not true. Since when? Like, it can't be this season.
Over the last 4 games.
There you
over
go.
The last 4 games.
Yeah,
there it is.
There you go. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I almost like today. When I'm thinking about the game, I'm like, all right, if the Bucs don't give up any points in the first quarter, we win. Like, or I would just like to see that. I would like to see the defensive scheme work and make the other team have some adjustments, or just like get a streps, get a sack fumble, or maybe they kill themselves with penalties. I don't want to see the other quarterback come out and go 14 for 16 for 2 touchdowns in the first 4 times they touch the ball.
Yeah.
And it's happened like, I don't know. I mean, guess 4 weeks in a row. And even when we were winning, like Green Bay went up 10-0. The Raiders went up 10-0. We started the year great. Not I mean just the Saints drive, but like those first 3 or 4 or 5 games, we were putting up a lot of points in the first quarter, and we were already winning the game.
Yeah.
And then
we haven't these last. This has been a bad stretch. I mean, this has been a bad stretch, and we're moving into the part of the season here in December where I go back like. It's a week-to-week league. We're gonna be facing a bunch of bad teams, but any team could win on any given Sunday. It could absolutely happen.
You can only play the teams in front of you.
Exactly. But the Buccaneers should win. Honestly, they should win out.
Yeah.
From here on out. Like this was the last game the Buccaneers quote unquote should have lost.
Right.
And they didn't need to. That's the thing. Like I said it during Buck in the News. You said it at some point tonight. The Chiefs are not unbeatable.
No,
they're not. Now they're a very good team. They've got a very, very good record. 10-1, but they're not unbeatable. And the Buccaneers, I mean, they didn't come close. They did not come within 3 points of beating this team tonight, if you know what I'm saying.
Did they come within 4?
No. I think they came within 17, to be quite frank with you.
So I'm off to a 17-0 lead. Decided to play.
Spotted 17 points before the game like even started is what it felt like.
Yeah.
All right, Ren. Well, that's going to do it. That's going to bring us here to the end of the show. Skulls and swords. It is time. I'll remind everybody, skulls is the bad one. The numbskulls of the game. Swords are the good one. Ren, who do you got? Who are you giving out your skulls and swords to for this game?
I kind of want to give it to Carlton Davis, even though I don't think it was really his fault. I think he's going to get it a lot.
Which one?
Which Carlton Davis?
No. Which you said I want to give it to Carlton Davis.
Skull.
Okay.
We would never get just because it's not your your team
just
dicks
clarifying.
Because your team dicks you give up 3 touchdowns.
It was down out there without an antecedent. I'm just trying to clarify. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, Carlton Davis didn't go to college at Florida State, so there's not going to be any of that kind of talk on Twitter about how he got screwed by the coaching staff and the scheme and the receivers and the running back and the offensive line.
Yeah.
And the sight lines in the stadium. And he's got the wrong number. Yeah. Some meanie won't let him use the number he had in college. That's why he's no good. Oh, God. Who am I going to give the skull to? I want to give it to Fournette. It's not really his fault. I'd like to give it to Mike Evans. I didn't think he had a good game except for the 2 touchdowns, so I can't give it to him. Godwin was fine. Antonio Brown. I gotta give it to Davis. I gotta give it to Davis. Yeah. Or Winfield. I'm giving it to Winfield.
What?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, your defense rookie of the year campaign is over.
Yeah. I don't know who else he's matching up against, but he's not. I think it's been over for him since like week 6.
Yeah, it's been over for a while.
Yeah.
As soon as the Bucs start losing.
Right.
Funny how that works.
There was I'm looking for it in the chat. Somebody in the chat put in they put Davison for a scored. They're giving it both to him.
Okay. I don't know what the
guy that they put out there, he did it anyway and stood in the gap when he shouldn't have had to.
I don't really know what the ord was.
Sword, it's a skull and a sword put together.
No, I don't. I didn't say scored. I said ord. I don't know what part of the. I don't know what the sword part. What part sword did he get?
I think the idea is because he went he still went out there and faced him
because he fell on his. He fell on the sword.
Right.
We're just gonna give you the skull, and you're up to fall on the sword.
Right.
There you go, buddy.
Right. Go ahead.
View my sword.
Yeah, your sword. Go ahead.
Cam Brate, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. I'm giving it to Chris Godwin. He caught a deep ball.
All right. I'm gonna give my sword. I'm gonna give my sword to Rojo. Because when Rojo was in there, he did what he needed.
Good. Yeah. Why didn't I think it? Damn it.
I'm gonna give my sword to Rojo. You talk about a guy who did everything he needed to do and should have continued to move on. And he popped a couple of good plays, but like really big plays that really made a difference, I think, for developing what came later during the game. Unfortunately, they just kept trying to go back to Fournette. Although I will say when we got down towards the end of the game, they had Fournette in there. They threw a couple of passes to him. Real good, strong performance by Fournette. I still just wanted to see Rojo.
It was not a real good, strong performance. He made one guy miss.
Okay.
They threw the ball to him twice, and it took him 2 times to get a first down. And the first time he didn't get out of bounds.
And he had a pretty good run, I think, in there too. No.
What's a pretty good run? 4 yards.
I
not negative.
I mean, he got positive yardage. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's how low the bar is on a Fournette run now. Did you get at least 0.2 yards? Well, that's a sword. Congratulations.
I didn't say he got a sword. I still think Rojo gets the ball. Who was the guy that got the interception, turned it over? Was that Whitehead
or Whitehead? No, it was. So did the other one.
Oh, did they? Oh, they both got called back. Oh.
So what? I think it was.
Oh Edwards. No! It was Golston. That's what I'm thinking about. Shaq Barrett, I think, came in and popped the ball loose out of Mahomes' hand, and Golston picked it up. Actually, Golston ripped it out of somebody else's hand.
The fumble recovery, yeah.
And people were like, "Oh, it changes the momentum of the game."
I'm just
gonna say this. I'm gonna say that's fine. When you're down 17-0, that's a fantastic play. You can change the momentum of the game. You don't get to come up pounding your chest like you're somebody, like you're dominating the field down there. You just don't. I'm sorry. Just shut up and get back out there. And when you get ahead, when you put some points on the board, then maybe you can start doing that. That's not the time to do that.
It's so weird because that's a big thing of mine, when, Cam Newton does that all the time. Drives me freaking insane. Mm-hmm. Austin Seferian-Jenkins used to do that crap. Right. Like you're down 31 points and you convert a 3rd and 3 and you start playing to the crowd. It's like, what? I didn't mind the Golston thing because I thought it was a big play in the game. They were about to go down. The game was about to be over.
Yeah, it bugged me. That's not the point to come up celebrating like that. Anyway, but yeah, my sword is going to Rojo because I think Rojo got what we need to do, and my skull
goes to the person who celebrated the most.
No, I think it's got to go to Davis. It might not have been his fault, but still,
it was his fault. But he was putting a terrible position.
Yeah, fair enough.
He just was. It was just dumb.
Fair enough. Frank G says the sword goes to nobody, and Leftwich is play calling gets the skull. Alonzo says blame BA. Our friend Daniel up in Atlanta says skull. Whoever decided to put Fournette in the game, thank you. Except I think it always cheats when you give that to the coach. And the sword goes to JPP. I did like JPP in this game.
Again, that's like 3 games in a row. He's played like all pro level.
Yeah, I think
our friend Derek, all pro.
Our friend Derek, old school from What the Buck, who actually we are doing this segment as an homage to him. He tweeted out something like JPP is the only one who came to play today. It was something along that line. That's not an exact quote, but it was something about that. Ryan Griffith says sword goes to Godwin and Gronk. Matt Ziggy says if skull means bad, Byron Leftwich and Bruce Arians. Dub says sword goes to Rojo, skull goes to Davis. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Skull goes to Todd Bowles. We got a sword going to JPP and skull going to Leftwich. Maybe Brady.
Maybe.
Let me ask you, do you think at any point Brady stopped doing whatever they would call over to the headset and just started calling his own plays?
Sure looks that way, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
It does.
I don't know if that's what he's doing, but it sure sometimes looks like that.
It's just like,
Yeah, Rojo and Mike get the sword for Buck Wild. Secondary, the entire secondary gets the skull from Buck Wild. Matt Ziggy says Sue gets a sword.
Sue had a good game.
Sue had a good game. Gronk gets a sword from that name there. Sorry, audio listeners out there. Sword goes to Gronk. Skulls go to deep ball on third down. God, they couldn't do anything with that. Let's see here. I think that's let's see here. Joey says Godwin for a sword and Arians Leftwich for a skull. Yeah, Arians Leftwich. I saw trending on Twitter was like the title of like Buccaneers fans upset at Bruce Arians and coaching staff or something like that.
I mean, but it's not, but here's the thing. It's like, we can sit here and yell and scream and complain. And then, like I'm sure, the BA truthers, that's not even the right word, but the always BAers are going to come on like our local podcast and talk about how the fans are stupid, but it's not us, man. Like when the announcers on Monday Night Football talk about it, and then the announcers on Sunday Night Football talk about it, and then when the announcers tonight, Tony Romo talks about it, the CBS guys on CBS talk about it, how they're like, and they're trying not to criticize it, but they are.
Right.
So it's not just us. Now, this crap that goes around the league about BA and Tom Brady, like their relationship is fracturing, and this and that and the other stuff. But no, it hasn't been good schemes to start the game, and they've been slow to react. Like they've been out coached. If that's what your parameters and definition of out coached, they've been out coached since the Monday night game against the Giants.
That's a long. How many weeks is that ago?
Except for the Panthers game.
That's 6 weeks. 6 weeks, 7 weeks now in a row.
Yeah, except for the Panthers game.
Yeah.
This was the toughest stretch for the Buccaneers. Everyone knew it, and we went 1-3.
Yeah. All right, Ren. Well, on that happy note, we're gonna sail off into the bye week. I'd like to say thanks. I'd like to say thanks to everybody who joined us live, everybody who joined us over in the chat room, whether you're watching us, whether you're on Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, or maybe you're on Alexa over there over my shoulder, or maybe you're at the PewterCast.live. And if you are somebody who is listening to this on the podcast feed later, like many thousands of you, hello and welcome to all of you guys out there as well. Thanks for downloading and spending part of your day here with us at the PewterCast as we sort through this game that the Buccaneers put up. Barely lost, Ren. That's what I'm going to say going into it. That's what I'm going to tell my kids when they ask me later tonight what happened. I'm going to say, oh, they barely lost. Ren, why don't you tell the folks where they can get in touch with you here over the next couple of weeks on the internet?
Sure. The best place to find me is always on Twitter at Rendax, REN_DAXT. I'm always down to talk Buccaneers football.
And if you guys want to get in touch with me, you can find me at Brent Allen Live. Are you going to be a little beatboxing back there?
That's me typing.
Oh, yeah. No. It's supposed to be a bad cable is what it is.
It was a bad cable.
It was a bad cable, right? I know. You're the worst co-host ever, Ren.
You're most rude.
Most rude co-host ever.
And then there was a sample.
If you guys want to get in touch with me, you can find me at Brent Allen Live across all the social medias. And the show is at the PewterCast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Or you can email us to thepewtercast@gmail.com. Please remember, anything you send us, we could use on an upcoming episode of the PewterCast. Ren, I don't know what our bye week looks like. I don't know how that's going to turn out, but you guys stay tuned to the podcast feed. Subscribe right here if you're on YouTube. Subscribe, click the bell icon. 9 out of our 10 shows go live these days, guys. We put them all out there. So never miss a live show. Click that subscribe button, hit that bell icon. You guys can know exactly when we go live. And until next time, guys, that's going to do it for us. I'm Brent. That's Ren. Go Bucs.